Larry Ulibarri, the I'm from Denver podcast, featuring the lovely and talented Kathie J. I wanted to start by doing this. Okay, just do exactly what I do, okay?
Okay.
Ha.
Ha.
Ha, ha.
Wait, move your hand. My video
Okay.
is right exactly where you're
Okay.
doing it. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
do
wait.
your
Here we
thing.
go.
Okay.
Ha.
Ha.
Ha, ha.
Ha ha.
Ha, ha, ha.
Ha ha ha.
Ha, 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 ha.
Ha ha.
You have to do it right after me.
Oh, okay, go again then.
Ha.
Ha.
Ha, ha.
Ha ha.
Ha, ha, ha.
Ha ha ha.
Ha, 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha. What are you doing, Larry Ulibarri?
I just saw this on social media, and this lady made this guy do it. And by the time she got to 10, they were just both cracking up. So I thought it was kind of funny.
It worked.
It's supposed to change your mood. So like if you
my mood.
Right. So whatever. I don't know.
No, I like that.
Yeah, I
so
just
like,
saw it's on my Instagram stories. I just
love
copied
that.
it.
So if your mom's in a bad mood or somebody, you can be like, Mom, copy
Right.
it to me. Ha. Ha ha.
Ha ha.
Ha ha.
You know,
ha.
my dad used to do this. He'd be like, he would laugh a whole song. So he'd be like, excuse me. So my dad used to do this. He would laugh a whole song. So he'd be like, ha 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 ha. Yeah, and then after a while you just laugh, and it's kind of funny.
I love that. It's important to keep laughing. Ha ha.
Anyway, so yeah, it's like super hot here today. I can't even believe that you're outside.
Well, I'm outside my sundress and it's got a lot of ventilation in it, but it is so hot. Like I brought the dog out with me and he's currently dead in the corner. Like
Right.
It's so hot and he's in the shade. So everyone, please think of your animals and everyone that's going to be outside.
Yeah, if you go to I'm from Denver.com, we have a link on there that tells you where the cooling centers are for this summer. So this won't be the only time that we go over 100. So there's cooling centers from like Fort Collins to Aurora, and basically they're kind of what you would assume like the library or, you know, places that people that don't have AC can go and hang out. Because think about it, those of us that are spoiled, we get AC at home,
Yes.
we get AC in the car, we get AC at work, and then we go, you know, to a restaurant, AC. There's some people that are like on a budget and they're sitting there like sweating balls at home or in the car. So this is probably for them, or like if you know like an older person that doesn't have AC that needs to cool off for a couple hours, and you know it's like, you know, I think there's always like in the past you could go to the mall.
Yeah, right.
Are
But
there
now
still
there's
malls?
No mall. Yeah, I think they're no, they're outdoor.
They're all
malls.
outdoor malls.
Yeah, that's not going to help you. Here's the thing. Yes, Denver is about to. We're entering like historic heat wave of like triple days with triple digits. And like you said, it's like the middle of July, and you'd think that we'd be getting near the end of summer, but it's like no, they're telling us more to come. Those cooling stations, like you definitely need it because before you realize it, you're dehydrated. Like one time I remember being on the back of Trucker Greg's motorcycle, and we took it up to Greeley. Yeah, when I dated a trucker, we took it up to Greeley. By the time we got up to Greeley, like I was dehydrated just from the sun hitting me and riding on the back of the motorcycle. Like you don't understand how fast that sun can really affect you and give you a headache and make you grumpy.
There's a little test you can do where you pinch the skin on your knuckle, and if it goes back down, you're not dehydrated. But if it stays a big thing, you're dehydrated.
I might be dehydrated. It's staying. You see that? It's staying. Thanks, Larry. Thanks a lot.
Well, that just gives you the heads up to make sure that you hydrate, and even when you think you're hydrated, maybe you're not. Do you ever hear from Trucker Greg? Do you ever see him on social media or anything?
No,
okay.
I don't think he knows social media.
Right. He knows like
Um,
gears 1 through 12 or however
right,
many there
13.
are.
But yeah, no, he doesn't do that. I don't think that
He was
technology was
nice.
never his thing. He was nice. It's funny
He
our
was you.
past.
All your boyfriends have always been super nice, including
Agreed.
my husband. Um,
Yeah. Who, by the
Mr.
way,
Big was nice.
Mr. Big,
Um,
but your husband's
yeah.
the best guy to travel with, I tell you.
Oh, that's so
I love
special.
him.
And then you ended up with the nicest guy of all, Mr. Efficient. So,
Yes.
yay.
But the heat wave,
Um,
real fast, you and I have to
oh
just
yeah,
put one more warning out there about dogs and taking, like,
oh
I
yeah.
think that this is a situation of don't even take your dog with you to go to 7-Eleven.
No, no, no,
Don't
no.
even
People
put the
love.
dog in the car because
Yeah,
they always think, well, the car is so cold. I had the AC on crazy. And then they shut the doors and turn it off. The temperature can climb so fast to a degree that starts to bake your insides.
and there's too many car thieves to leave your car running. So just like Kathy said, leave the dog at home. You don't need your best friend. He doesn't need to be because what if your car runs out of gas or you're in an accident or something?
Accident, right?
Leave the dog at home.
It's way too hot. And people that are walking their dogs, like, don't do it in the afternoon. I don't understand. People think that the pads of their feet is like this Teflon, and it's like
Right.
it's tough, but it's not that tough. It can still feel burns. Dogs still get third-degree burns on their feet and stuff from.
You
So
tell
people
him,
just be
Kathy.
aware. Be aware of being a good dog
You tell
owner.
him, Doggy Avenger. You
Thank
tell
you,
him.
thank you. Well, we don't want
And
any dogs dying.
right, right, and it's like you stress everybody out because when we're in a parking lot and we see a dog in the car, you're going to cause a ton of attention. People
Yep,
are allowed to break the window, so don't
yep.
even do that.
Don't even
Love
go
your dog
there.
enough to keep them home, and hopefully leave the AC on for them and just pay for it later.
I agree. And speaking of dogs, there's a Colorado dog that's going viral.
Oh my God, you saw that video of the one that started the fire?
He started a fire and he did exactly what my husband, Mr. Efficient, is always yelling at me and the girls for. Don't put things on top of the stove because at one point something could turn it on and it catches fire, and that's what happened.
I'm paranoid about that too. And like all of a sudden, his worst fears were proven right. And that this dog just all of a sudden kind of looks to see what's up there and then ends up like just triggering the stove, everybody's worst nightmare.
And then you see the surveillance video, and they had it in their kitchen, these couple, and and it's like 4 o'clock in the morning, so they were definitely asleep. Like
Right. And
it's
then, they were upstairs going, who's making breakfast?
right. Well,
It
you're
smells
here,
amazing.
and I'm
Right.
here.
Right.
Ah!
Ah, the dog's making breakfast.
They all
He's
got
all
out
flipping
okay. Yeah.
pancakes. Mm, mm, mm.
So this is what was on the stove. But yeah, Mr. Efficient's always yelling at us, and he was like, sure enough, to show me the video to say, "Did you see? Did you see?"
He's all right, family. We're gonna have a meeting on this. And your dog, he doesn't really get up on stuff, but he's definitely could accidentally knock something. He's so big.
Yeah, he totally is, and he's deaf, so he wouldn't hear anything saying "warning,
Oh,
warning."
right.
Yeah, so but I'm glad everybody was okay and the dog's okay.
Yeah, that's really good that nobody got killed in that fire. Also, we wanted to talk about the 10 reasons why people that move here regret moving here.
We love living in
Um,
Denver. I've been out here since I was 4 years old. You are a Denver native. You're like a third generation Denver, right?
mhm.
Like you've been
Oh
here
no, I'm
forever.
longer than that because if you do the history of Denver and Colorado, which they've done several times in the press here, and Ulibarris are some of the first Spaniards that settled here. So Ulibarri goes way back. I'm pretty sure we brought some poison blankets, but it wasn't on purpose.
Oh,
Um,
Larry. But you know what? When we used to do the morning show, it seemed like every week someone was calling in to say, "Hey, cuz,"
oh no, no,
because you're
I still have that.
Ulibarri. You have a lot of Ulibarris.
Oh, more than you'd even know. And then they had kids, and then they had kids. So I have people that hit me up on social media all the time going, "You're my cousin." And I'm like, "Yes, you are."
Right? Yes,
I just
we
give them the
are.
benefit of the doubt because I have so many cousins.
Right.
Um,
So there's a lot of Ulibarris in Denver taking up all the real estate.
the reasons of people not wanting, regretting moving here are kind of, some of them are very obvious because, the number one is high cost of living.
Money. It is so expensive. I told you my girlfriend just moved here from Austin, Texas, everybody. Like Austin, Texas is supposed to be is always on the list of the top most expensive place. She said all of her services are double here. Her dog services, her hair services, her, face services. Everything is double.
Time to drop some services.
I know. Trust me, she
You know what I mean?
has.
You got to pick and choose it at a
Yes.
certain point because things are so expensive. And it's, I know it's expensive everywhere, but it does seem to give everybody a bunch of sticker shock when they visit Denver.
I totally agree. And so the high cost of living is bad. I think also people don't like the weather, with that
There you
winter
go,
weather.
Kathy. That's number
Ding ding
two
ding
is
ding ding.
winter weather. And, you know, we're used to it. And if we're being honest, I think it used to be way more wintry and way more snowy. I think since the climate is being weird, we get like dumped on and then we don't get anything. And then we get like a major storm. But I think we kind of get less storms than we used to get.
It's funny you
Am I
say that, and
wrong?
I don't know. I don't know if it's because we're kids or we were kids, and so we just remembered winter more than now as adults. Like, oh, thank God the snow's gone, so I can drive again. Like, I don't know where if we, or if it is a climate issue, but I mean, I do feel like now it's very predictable. Like, oh, this storm's going to be gone in 3 days. Like, everything's going to be melted, and we'll be back to normal. Like, we don't really have anything that sits around anymore because it gets so warm in the winter.
Well, and then it's like you said, like Denver weather is like it could snow in the morning and then be gone and melted by the afternoon.
And
So
we love it. I mean, it is kind of
yeah,
fun.
that's
It's bipolar.
right. So the winter weather thing, I could get why people would assume that, but it's not as bad as people think. Number three is altitude sickness, which is actually a bigger problem than we know of because we were born at this altitude. So
Right.
it's like I guess a lot of when artists come for concerts that we've been involved in, there's always little oxygen things in the back because athletes that come to play here are having to fight for air.
Yeah, suck oxygen because it is hard. And you hear of people like there's a lot of tourists probably that are here right now during the heat wave with the altitude and the heat. They're definitely getting sick. You better need to find
Right.
yourself a cooling station because
Right.
yeah, like definitely because you're right. The only thing we get benefits, we go somewhere we can drink more. Like, I mean, being in the
Right.
high altitude. But yeah, people, and then there's also people that have moved out here that like doesn't it makes their allergies worse or it makes their allergies better, and the altitude with the breathing, like people with COPD, they really can't be breathing here
Right.
because it is the higher altitude. So yeah, I guess it does. You're right, we're acclimated to it.
Well, and then number four is wildfires, which kind of affects everybody. Like especially, you see wildfires popping off all over the country, and so it's not exclusive to us. But we can definitely get to be where you're like going outside and seeing the haze and smelling it. It's like that bad.
Well, you don't think about you only think about the wildfires in the forest, but like I don't know about you, but I was getting nervous around the 4th of July. Like I can't believe that there were so many
Oh
fireworks. We all have huge tall trees. All of them are dry. Pine needles are everywhere, and those catch fire so easy. Like I
no,
was freaking out that people didn't
no, no. Did
care.
you see that there was like 100 or more of like places they had to go and put fires out. There was like it was like all on the news the next day. Yeah, it was a nightmare for Denver firefighters, Colorado firefighters all over the state because there were little fires they had to put out everywhere.
You're right. You're right. I did hear that. And in fact, there was our place right here by the community pool caught fire. The field right across the street from us.
Whoa.
And
Um,
like they all of a sudden they were like, "There's a fire!" And we walked over there, and like somebody had set the fireworks off in the street next to this
whoa.
huge tree. Like it's still all burnt when you drive by it.
That's crazy. Yeah, so that's the whole thing. They're like, don't go camping, make fires, don't
Please
light fireworks, and
don't throw
and it's like
cigarettes out the window.
they're all fireworks are illegal. Please don't light them. And then it's like all you hear till 4 in the morning for the next three
Pew,
days. Right.
pew.
I was
Yeah.
pretty sure that our neighbors bought like $27,000 worth of fireworks.
Yeah, like they all went to Wyoming. They all went, and like the fact it's like some people in my neighborhood, I was like, are you charging for this show? Because this is amazing.
Those are real
Those are
fireworks.
real fireworks.
Right.
All right. So
That's
speaking
that's
of
so true.
you living in Denver, I live in Aurora. So
Well,
I
when
go
we
ahead.
left your house to come to our house after fireworks, all you saw was just like firework after fireworks show. It was insane. I didn't realize that many people go ham for it.
I didn't either. Well, now you can get your hands on them so easy.
I guess. The other reason that people regret moving to Colorado is high property taxes, and we
Yeah.
all know about that and how out of control that is. It's just ridiculous.
I have a friend and they refinanced finally, and it's hard to refinance right now because the numbers are horrible,
Oh
but
no,
they
if you
had
didn't do
to,
it earlier, yeah.
and they were so excited, and then all of a sudden they had their property taxes raised. So the money that they saved on the refinance, they just
Mm-hmm.
got screwed
Oh,
because of property taxes. How are they able to raise our property taxes like this?
this is almost like one of those things where we should like grab pitchforks and torches and go down and like make a big something. Like that is ridiculous. And it goes to the how everybody gets their vote-in ballots, and then you're like kind of ignore it. And it's like, well, that's part of the problem because it's all tied together. So if you're not
Yeah.
paying attention, then the next thing you know, you're just like, who did I vote for, and what did they vote for?
No, there was a politician that I was listening to, and he was mentioning something about I want to make it so rent and everything you can only, and he had a name for it. And he's like, you can only increase it by 5%. Like we need to stop all this. And I was like, finally, someone's actually saying what we need to hear. Like it's just it like you kind of think who's going to put a stop to everybody raising all of our prices?
It's yeah, exactly, and especially when you find out that all these companies that raise their prices on chips and soda and meat and eggs, it was all greed. It was
It was all
like
greed.
they
They didn't have
literally
to
like
raise their prices.
exactly everybody went ham on us, and it's like we always take it in the shorts, and it's like you look at it's cheaper now to go to a Disney vacation to Japan because in Florida they charge $125 a ticket. In
Yeah.
Japan it's $60. The food's
Wow.
super cheap, so even including that Japanese airfare, you're gonna save money by going to Disney Japan. Just letting you know
Are you saying that we're going
that
to
we should go
Disney
to Disney
Japan? Are
Japan.
you
Yes,
saying we're okay? Is that what you're
yes, I
saying?
know.
All right.
The other reason, number six, that people regret moving here is traffic congestion.
Oh,
We've all had to
Larry,
deal with that.
look, back in the day, I used to be out because I worked at the Westminster Mall off of Sheridan and 90th, right, or 72nd
Hmm.
over there. And I
Yeah,
lived in Thornton, 115 in Colorado. And I used to be able to make it to Spencer's and walk in that door in a 15-minute window, shoot down 120th, make it to Sheridan, shoot down to the thing, and I was there. Like the fact that I think that's why I'm always 15 minutes late is because I still have something put
that
into my.
mentality of like I have time.
It's
Yeah, yeah.
ridiculous.
If you didn't,
Traffic is horrible.
yeah, there was a time where you could literally go from Westminster to the tech center in like 15 minutes. Believe it or not,
Amazing.
there
Right.
was a
Believe it or
time,
not.
and
There
now
was a
it's
time.
right. There's rush hour just 24/7, and yeah, there's just no safe spot or time where you can really rely. I mean, like possibly early Sunday morning, maybe there's nobody around,
Maybe,
but other
maybe.
than that.
I'll tell you what, don't even try to do the HOV lanes either, everybody. Don't try to cross those double white lines because Denver has the most elaborate camera system that'll catch you and it's $75 a pop. It sucks.
Chris and I do the HOMO lanes. But you have to be gay to do those
Right.
lanes, and you have to prove it. Like if they pull you
Really.
over and you say you're gay, they're
Uh,
like, "Get over here, kiss
if
somebody
it
that's
doesn't look
of the
right,
same
they
gender."
ask you to prove it.
Right?
They're like,
That's the HOMO lanes.
yeah, we get that. That's funny.
All right. So the other number seven of why people regret moving to Colorado is tourist crowds.
Tourist crowds.
So they just say that everything's crowded, the ski resorts, the national parks, outdoor activities, just like everything's taken up, all the trails, all the attractions, cars parked everywhere. That's one thing that people don't like about moving here.
It's ridiculous. It is a lot of tourists. I went to do a hike and it was at Bridal Falls, and it was like so we're going up it, and it's a trail that a car could go on, but for the most part, you see that everybody's walking it. Like everybody's taking their mile walk up to go see the waterfall. But no, there's still people in there that want to test out their really cool, expensive Jeep or something that you could tell, and then all of a sudden a bus of overweight people passed me. I was like, really? You're going to make it up to the waterfall and not even earn it? I was just like, come on. But it's because of tourism that bus was like, I'll take a tour up to the top of the waterfall.
Right. When we get to the top of the hill, that's when we'll all have our sandwiches in
Yeah,
our big
right.
potato salad bucket.
Because you've
Um,
earned it.
you did pay to be on this tour.
Yeah.
High sales tax is number eight. I guess that's like, you know, apparently compared to everybody else, we're relatively high as far as sales tax goes.
Look, I
So
thought that's why we legalized some things around here because we were going to use that tax money to help us out with some other stuff so we didn't have to have the high sales tax. Where did all
exactly.
that, what's happened here?
Shouldn't that money have gone to, or should we should have never seen another pothole again
Thank
once
you.
we made some sort of deal with the industry. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree. Where, I mean, like every month, all we kept
Potholes, get
I
it?
get the, oh,
Potholes,
I
put
didn't
pot
get
in
it.
them and
I
then
didn't
just,
get
a
it.
little asphalt.
If you put pot in them, then you're going to cause car accidents because people are going to be running out there to get them.
Yeah. On a hot day like this, all the vapor coming from the asphalt, everybody's all, yeah, okay.
We're taking a nap.
Limited
Let's go take a nap.
limited diversity is number 9, I guess. Uh, people like that come here from a city that's really diverse and has lots of ethnicities and cultures. They can kind of be a little bit shocked of, I guess, how white it is here.
Yeah, I would say that it's white and Hispanic, right? Here
Right.
in Denver, predominantly.
For
Yeah,
sure.
and
And yeah.
I mean, yeah, but I definitely we don't have a huge a black population, other populations. Although the Asian population like is OG in Denver. The Japanese in their whole area of downtown Denver that was like founded by
Oh, yeah.
Japanese. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
so I mean, so I do know that we go back, but yeah, I could see a lot of people feeling like their kids won't get the right education or something like that.
Right. I've heard different ethnicities say there's not enough of my people here
Yeah.
more than a few times.
Well, what do you think?
And then
You're gente. What do you feel?
You know what? My people are here. We got here early,
Right.
and so we've been around. I
Right.
look for my people when I go on vacation to other places. Sometimes
Right.
I'll go on vacation and go, "You guys don't have any Mexicans or Hispanics." And like even in when I go to Mobile, Alabama, to see Shar, my sister-in-law, I'm like, "You guys have no yahas, no hey, what's going on? None of my gente. There's nobody's there.
None of
It's
that,
like
right.
weird."
When I was in
Yeah.
Romania, I felt the same way. There were Spanish people, but there wasn't Mexican or Hispanic people, like people that I
Right.
was used to seeing that I grew up with. And it's
Ugh,
interesting.
you're all this Romanian green chili's terrible.
It was. They had no idea how to flavor that.
That's why anytime we go to a city that doesn't have Latinos, we all think the same thing. We should open a Mexican restaurant here
Do you
because we
know?
know it would kill it.
It would
It
kill
would
it.
kill it. And so many cities
So
don't have
many
good
cities.
Mexican restaurant.
I always told you,
Oh,
if
yeah.
you ever come home with me to upstate New York, I'm going to make you
We
cook
should
for
open a
my
Mexican
everyone.
restaurant.
No, there already is, and guess what the name of it is? A
What?
Mexican restaurant. I kid you not.
That's hilarious.
I kid you
How's the
not.
food?
I've never wanted to go in. Why would I go in when
Oh,
I come from Denver?
I know, but I mean, you got to go test it out. Maybe somebody's there that knows what they're doing.
No way. They're going to have Old El Paso in there.
Ugh. Last but not least, the reason people regret moving to Colorado, number 10, is limited public transportation, which, I mean, like we're catching up. We do have light rail now and some other things, but bigger cities have had, you know, trains and
The BART
speed trains.
system
And,
in San
right,
Francisco, LA,
right.
like so many different ways for people to get around. And it is
Sure.
handicap. And especially now that you're hearing like that other story that they're shutting down some neighborhood Walmarts. So a lot of people are going to have like a food desert where they can't walk
Hmm.
to get to their grocery store anymore. And this is here in Denver in the metro
Oh,
area.
no.
Yeah.
There's one, I call it the thriller intersection at
Why?
Colfax and Havana because people there are always walking like Thriller, like because you're like, oh my god, it's Thriller. It's like we're gonna all start dancing soon. And
Colfax and Havana, you're right. That is a good thriller
it's a very thrill,
intersection.
especially at night. It's like don't.
Don't. Is that where Bleach used to
Um,
hang out? Was that
it's
Havana? Wasn't that right there?
well, there used to be a Walmart. They just closed the Walmart grocery store there, so now there's a little food desert there. And I think that they closed it because of just the craziness of that intersection, people going in there and
Really?
shoplifting and stuff. So yeah, that's definitely going to be an issue for people because they're also closing like Walgreens. 3 or 4 Walgreens just closed. So yeah, people are
So,
losing those big markets.
and if they had some transportation to get to the other neighboring neighborhood to get their groceries, that would be helpful. So, and there's a lot of people out there that you might have that's a neighbor that's an old person you should check on because of the weather. You should also check on them just because see their food, you know, like it doesn't hurt to be nice in our community. I always feel like
Right.
I
You
got to
want to check
remind
on the
people.
old people so you can be there first to go through their valuables when they're
Okay.
dead. You're like, oh yeah, let
No
me look at
way.
the.
No
Oh,
way.
Helen, we miss
No.
you so much.